I want to start by thanking the Chamber of Commerce for putting tonight's event on. I want to thank the district administration for allowing us to be here in the chamber board or in the boardroom, and I want to thank you all for being here tonight. My name is Tim Danziger, and I'm running for place 2 on Forney ISD School Board. I'm here tonight asking for your vote. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Now, many of you may recognize those as the words of the great philosopher Whitney Houston, but I believe those words are as relevant today as they were in 1985 when she released her song, The Greatest Love of All. You see, I do believe that children are our future. And the question that I have to ask is, what is the legacy of learning that we're leaving to them? As I speak with parents and teachers and students throughout the district, the number one issue that continues to come up is that we are not preparing our students for life after high school. Whether that's going to college or whether that's entering the workforce. Why is that? Well, I believe it's because we're not engaging our community to fill in the gap, to develop these students so they can become contributing members of society. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Learning styles have changed, and yet we have not adapted. Most students I've spoken with, they want to learn in a collaborative setting where teach students, where the teacher acts as more of a facilitator, keeping them on track and making sure that the subject matter is being learned. These kids are our future generation, and we've got to teach them to be leaders. Whether it's the new Kroger, the new apartments that are being built, or all of the new housing starts, Forney is changing. I want to bring a fresh perspective to the school board. I want to help to drive change. As the board is constituted today, there's nobody on the north side that's represented, even though most of the development is on that side. I want to be a voice for the north, but more important, I want to be a voice for all of the students and the parents and the teachers in Forney ISD. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you for being here. I'm Greg Ferris, and I'm running for place 2. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I know many of you, but some of you may not know me. I moved to Kaufman County in 1993 when my job took me here. Local businessman, and my wife is here. She teaches at Henderson. I'm a father of a 2009 graduate, and I have a son that's a sophomore now at the high school. We are active members of our community through both school and church. Volunteering to serve on the school board is natural for me. I came from a family where my dad served for many, many years. We also have a long line of teachers and principals and superintendents in my family, and these relationships give me a solid perspective of what schoolwork is all about. As a parent volunteer, I'm a member of the Fine Arts Booster Club, the Athletic Booster Club, and also in the Children's Worship University at our church. The time I spend with these parents and with these students helps me have insight for the families in our district. In May of 2014, I'm seeking my 3rd term. I've served 2 terms on this board. During our first 2 terms as a board member, we've opened many elementary schools, Brown Middle School, Forney North High School, and made upgrades to all of our campuses. As everyone knows, 3 years ago we faced a very difficult time. But as a board member, we dug in. As a board member, I worked tirelessly to help hire the new administrative team we have back here. Together we made decisions that were difficult, and we did it in record time. We did it with a positive perspective, without having to lay off any current teachers or cut staff. This year we'll have a positive fund balance for the 2nd year in a row. My experience as a local businessman and a financial advisor helped me to have clear vision for what district changes needed to be made. Recently I served on the Forward Focus design team and helped them develop new plans and set district goals. Because growth is occurring if you drive around, and we must be prepared. So in summary, as I wrap up, as a member of the Forney ISD School Board, I promise experienced leadership, Christian values, and a voice for all students and teachers in our district. Thank you.
What experiences and background do you believe make you the ideal candidate for a Forney School Board member position?
Most of my adult life, I've spent in one way or another working with kids. Whether it's teaching them in the church youth program, whether it's as a coach, whether it's serving on the board of FYVA. I've got a passion for kids. and for not just teaching them in that role that we're in there, but in teaching them about life. And I think that that's one of the things, my passion to serve the kids and to make sure that they're getting the best education possible. I've had more years than I want to remember in sales and sales management, so the idea of working with other people and building teams and being able to advocate for a position are incredibly important, and that's a skill that I have. I'm a business owner right now. I've been in business for about 4.5 years, and we deal with issues every day, whether it's budget issues, whether it's operational issues, all kinds of issues that allow me to make those decisions and work with other people to make decisions to bring the best result possible.
Next question is, in your opinion, what is the role of the school board trustee?
The role of the school board trustee is to work with the other board members to set policy which will bring the best benefit to the students, that will allow them to succeed not only in school, but then be prepared for after school, for the life after high school. I can talk about the setting policy and setting budget and things like that. That's been pretty well covered. But ultimately, I think that the role of a school board member is to work with the other people on the board to create the policies that will allow the district to be the best possible district. And also to, especially as it relates to our district, to be prepared for the growth that is not only here, but is still coming.
And the last question, which you touched on just a little bit there, is what is your vision for the Forney Independent School District?
Thank you. Boy, I've got a fairly big vision. One, I would like to see a unified district, a district where we don't talk about North Forney and Forney, where we talk about one district, when we talk about one city. Right now there's dissension on either side, and I think that we need to work together, and I think the board can play a big part in doing that. We need to be prepared for the growth. We need to make sure that all students are being supported, whether they are college-bound or whether they're bound for the workforce. Things like vocational training. Engaging with the community to provide assistance and to fill that gap where maybe the school district can't make it happen on our own. Thank you.
Same questions. What experiences and background do you believe make you the ideal candidate for this office?
Thank you, Dr. Wood. My experiences, I've been involved in Kaufman County, like I said, for many, many years, since 1993. I'm a graduate of Kaufman County leadership, of the Forney leadership. I've served on Forney EDC in the years past. I have 2 terms on the school board here. In addition to that, I'm a businessman and a financial advisor, and I help people on a daily basis deal with their immediate and long-term goals. So I'm accustomed to long-range planning, and whether it's financial or whether it's personal goals you're trying to set, those are experiences I've had. My leadership classes, I've been able to meet people all over the county and our city, and I think those relationships help us as we continue in our district here, because the city and the schools have to work together.
Second question, in your opinion, what is the role of the school board trustee?
The role of a board member is we're part of a team. It's a team of 8. So you're a part of that team. You don't make any decisions on your own. You can express your opinion, but at the end of the day, it's a team of 8. You have to make that decision together. Our number one job is we hire a superintendent, and we set his expectations, and we allow him to run the district. We don't micromanage it. We don't tell him how to manage it. We assist him and support him through his leadership. And so as a board member, our role is to support him and his team and their vision for the district and help them carry it out.
And then the last question, what is your vision for the Forney Independent School District?
My vision for the school district is to continue. We've heard that the city mentioned, I think a while ago, a destination city, but we could probably all look back and say what was here before we had all this stuff on the other side of 80. It was people were moving here for our schools. They were moving here because we were a destination district. So to continue that quality of education so that people do come here, they come here for a reason. They choose our community because they want to be here in our schools. And to do that, we need to be more innovative. We've talked about that. We've challenged our staff administration. What can we do to be more innovative, not settle for status quo? We need to create more business partners in our community and get the businesses involved as we can grow and increase our career in technology, as some have mentioned here tonight. We've kind of gotten away from that, and we need to get back to addressing all the students, not just the college-bound, but those who want to pursue a career in some kind of technology or whatever field they want to pursue. We need to provide all the opportunities. So helping have a destination district that provides opportunities for all districts and all their interests. Thank you.
What would be your response to a negative news story written about your opponent?
I guess my first thought is that I would hope that that wouldn't happen. And secondarily, if it did, I would ignore it. It's not something that I would make a part of my campaign. From the beginning, when people who have asked me who I'm running against, I just tell them candidly, I'm not running against anybody. I'm running for Place 2 on Forney School Board. It just happens that Mr. Ferris is the incumbent. That's the only way I could answer that. I would not make it a part of my campaign, and I certainly would not want anybody that I'm associated with putting out any of those stories. Thanks.
I would just say no comment, first of all, because I don't know the facts, and I don't think you should comment when you don't know the facts of the background. And no offense to all the press in the room, but I deal with headlines in my business every day, and I always tell my clients, don't believe the headlines. Headlines sell ads. So always be cautious what you read before you know the facts.
What would you have done differently in the last 3 years as a school board member?
I guess not having been here or having been a part of the school board, it's difficult to answer that question. We don't have all the facts, we don't have all the data that the school board in fact had. We've seen some of the outcome, and so far on the financial side, so good. I think the only question that I would have as it relates to what has happened is why. We hear that the auditor didn't give all the data or didn't give the right data, but the question then is, were we engaged enough with our community to understand that maybe development had slowed, so there weren't as many people coming to town? So therefore, how do we better manage our budget looking forward and understanding that there may be issues, that we may be spending money that we don't have? As far as what's happened over the last 3 years, good things are happening. Teachers have made sacrifices in order to continue the strength of our district, and our kids have gone right along with it. Thank you.
What we have done differently, I think back to what we did right. And I think the minute we understood what situation we were in, we all were just burdened on it, and how could we fix this? The first thing we did, the opportunity we had, was to hire a new administrative team. And once they got here and got on board, we got down to where the problem was. And once we knew what it was, we told our staff, we told our community where we were and how we were going to move forward. And there were a lot of things, we were finding out as time went on. And you just have to deal with it head on, and honestly, with all your people. One of the things we did change, which I think is a positive too, is we changed audit firms, because as you referenced, the audit firm may have given us wrong information. You always use your audit as your checkpoint, So we've changed audit firms. We'll do that more frequently, and we have to have faith in our system and our staff, and if not, then you deal with the people that are responsible for it. Thank you.
What specifics would you change in the district if elected, or if re-elected?
Specifics in
It just says specifics. It doesn't go into detail. What specifics would you change in
Sure,
the
I can
district
comment.
if elected?
Specifics. That's a good one. There's a lot of specifics. I think with the design team right
Got
now.
1 minute, by the way.
Yeah, it hasn't started yet. Ready? Go. Okay. So I think with our recent forward focus, I think we're at a point with the growth. It's time to update our goals and our objectives, and I think that we already have that going. I think updating those and adapting those to include more in career and tech that we mentioned earlier, I think those are specifics that we have to address and deal with.
I think that there are a couple of things. The first thing is we need to engage. We need better engagement with our community. We need to engage with the businesses to provide, as I spoke earlier, to provide that assistance to fill in the gaps for those kids that maybe don't have the support at home. Whether they're looking, if they're looking for better preparedness for life after high school. A good example of something I talk about all the time is that we've got more auto repair places in Forney than we do Mexican restaurants. And that's saying something, right? But we have nothing for those kids that perhaps aren't college bound but have an interest in cars. Why are we not partnering with those businesses to allow those students to gain some experience so that when they leave the schools that they can go either get on with that shop that they're working with now, or when they cross that stage and they go out and they're looking for a job, that they can say, I've got experience. That they're not left saying, what do I do now? Thanks.
The Texas Open Meetings Act and what that means to you, and then also what do you know or what do you believe can be legally discussed in a closed session or in an executive session of a school board or of a city council?
So pretty much as they said, we all abide, even if the school district, by the same Open Meetings Act. It's a state law, so we abide by the laws. They're posted in a timely manner by the administration here at the school with agendas of everything. Even in executive session, we're bound by agenda rules and regulations as the law states. So you can't vary from that. You have to stick to the agenda. The only thing that would, sometimes in addition to our board members for an executive session, we might have to have legal counsel on a conference call with us. But other than that, it's our board sticking to the agenda that's been posted in a timely manner.
I think what it means to me is engagement with the community, getting the community involved, posting in a timely manner so that they know that the meeting's going to happen and what's going to happen at that meeting. Most everybody else has talked about the technical or the legal details of it, but as I look at it, it's really about letting the public know what's going on so they can participate in that meeting.
How do you feel about more transparency regarding problems within the district, such as teenage drug abuse or other illegal activities?
When problems do arise, people know. So from my perspective, to the extent that we can protect the privacy of those people involved, we just need to be honest about the issue. But in addition to that, we need to explain what steps that the district is taking to address those things, those issues. The reality is that we do have those problems in the schools. That's just the reality. People talk about it every day. The way the district responds will do a lot in regard to the development of the credibility of the district and of the board. And I think it's important that we both address the issue, but then also explain what remedy the district is taking to eliminate that issue. Thanks.
For transparency, we are very transparent in our code of conduct and our policies that we have for our students and our staff and our district. I think everything they've said has been great. I think of one thing, though, that we have to be careful of is, and if our officers pick up a student or catch some activity happening like that, we have to be careful and not be too transparent because we don't know, we'll interfere with the investigation. We don't know more what's going on. We may be notified as a board member that something has happened, but we cannot disclose that because it's part of an investigation. So you can be transparent in your policies and procedures, but you can't always be transparent in the details of that situation. Thank you. My comments will be brief. Thank you all for being here tonight, and I appreciate the opportunity to have served in the past, and I love our community and our schools, and I look forward to serving another 3 years. And as I mentioned earlier, I promise you, if I'm elected, that you will have experienced leadership and Christian values and a voice for all the teachers and students in our community. And remember, voting starts Monday.
I guess I'll say what everybody else has said and sincerely mean thank you for being here tonight. And as I talk to people and I explain why I'm running for Forney School Board, I tell them it comes down to the 3 Ps: the power, the prestige, and ultimately the pay. Because you know what? This is a great paying gig. And then we laugh, and then I say, no, it's about a 4th P. It's about passion. And the passion that I have for serving, for working with kids, and making sure that we develop the best district that we can be to serve them, looking forward, innovating, and providing the structure that they need so that when they walk across that stage and they walk into real life, that they are prepared for that. As Greg said, voting starts Monday, and I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.